for a pretty specific ask. They want something between Austin and San Antonio. He works in Austin, she works down in San Antonio. So they want to be somewhere in this I-35 corridor between the two. The plan is to buy it as a primary, but then turn it into a rental down the road. So maybe occupy it for, say, 1 to 3 years, somewhere in that range. So it's got to be a comfortable place, a nice spot. They've got 2 young kids, so they want to make sure that the schools are decent, but still reasonable commuting to both cities. So, and that's not an uncommon search criteria. I actually hear that a lot. People want to go ahead and buy something, live in it for a year or 2, and then turn it into a rental. So it needs to make sense as a rental, but also as a primary. So here's just how we use the tool to kind of quickly find those types of assets. So I'm just going to use Zillow. I'm going to go ahead and draw a general type of radius. We want to be like New Braunfels, San Marcos, Kyle, Buda. Those markets, we'll go ahead, apply that. Actually, I want to include Schertz as well, just in case. So let's go ahead and do Buda. We'll just do the full I-35 corridor between the two. Use that. We don't really find cash flowing single family homes unless they're like, say, under like 265, 260-ish. So we're gonna go ahead and set it at 265. Once your rents start getting up to $2,700-$2,800 a month, it gets pretty slim pickings in terms of tenants, but they're of course out there. This is just general what I found to have like the highest occupancy rates in this market. And you can use this tool in any market. This is just a use case for it. Beds, I like to do 3+ beds, 2+ baths, very standard types of floor plans. I don't want condos or townhomes or any kind of manufactured housing, just freestanding single family homes. Those work really well for long-term buy and hold single family rentals. We'll go through, do a square footage requirement at minimum of 1,500, max of 3,000. So that way we're not getting any like 1,100 square foot 3-bed, 2-bath houses, but we're not getting any monstrosities either, right? So we want vanilla, super cookie cutter, standard real estate that leases out quickly. It's easy to maintain, easy to insure, all of those types of things. It's also really easy to comp and resell down the road, so it has a high liquidity rate, right? So these are all important things to consider for the exit down the road. Let's go ahead and put our minimum at 1980. We have a really small radius, so we don't want to make our years too tight. 1980 or after, you'll avoid a lot of issues that come in with like the 60s and 70s built homes, and we're also going to avoid any kind of new construction, so I'm going to put the oldest at 2022. We've got 48 results. It's really not a lot, but not surprising considering such a small radius. Use the tool. It's going to be very rare to find something hitting a true 1% rent to price ratio here. So let's just go ahead and set it at 0.8. We know if we find something with a 0.8% rent to price ratio, assuming interest rates are high 5s, low 6s right now, it's October 1st, 2024. You'll be able to break even, if not cash flow positive, a little bit depending on like the operations and the taxes on that individual asset. So here's a good handful. This school rating section tells you the rating of the highest ranked school in Great Schools on like the greatschools.org syndicate. So here's a good little collection. I'm looking just a quick scan through, like here's a 0.93. Let's go ahead and open that up. There was a recent $20,000 price drop. Usually if you're finding these deals and they're hitting our thresholds, it's because there's been some sort of really large price drop, and that's okay, right? It's okay to invest where there's been a large price correction. This one looks like it's already been renovated, which is nice. Of course, you have to do deeper inspections to confirm. Built in 2003, so relatively recently built, really low cost HOA. And let's just go ahead and check out the neighborhood. I want to see that at least 2 of the schools are rated above a 5. So yeah, 2 of them are rated above a 5. You got a 5 and a 6, so you can call it a B grade type of a neighborhood. And just to show, well, let's just see what they assume your market rent is. They're pulling 2,100, and Zillow's rental estimate and their price estimate are pretty accurate if you're going after these cookie cutter types of properties. Like if it's a major metro where the algorithm has lots of comparables, lots of data to pull and aggregate, those numbers are going to be pretty close. And just to show like an example for 3449 Whisper Haven, here is the San Antonio MLS, and I've already pulled the comps. So this goes back 24 months. We haven't had any major fluctuations in rental rates in the last 24 months. It's plus or minus 10% of the square footage of the subject property, so from 2,000 up to 2,600 square feet. And this is just going to give you a good idea about what the cost rental rate per square foot is. So here's your comps, all in the same little subdivision. And just go ahead and check this out. It's your average and your median, where is it? Price per square foot between 88 and 90 cents, right? So somewhere in that range per square foot. So if we go 89 cents, I've got my calculator here. So if we go 89 cents multiplied by the square footage of the subject property, 2371, 89 cents times 2371, that comes out to $2,110 as your comparable rental rate. That's about where it should go. So let's say $2,100 a month, $2,110. And when you look at market value on like the Zillow estimate, that's exactly what they have. And I found that largely to be the case. Like Zillow, I think it's a really bad rap for having inaccurate data, which is true in like rural markets. It's true in more fringe assets. I think for these cookie cutter types of deals, that estimate has been super accurate. You have to confirm it, but it's been good. So you can use this same exact type of strategy, whether you're a realtor, whether you're looking for your own deals across the entire country. Go ahead and test out the tool and use it for yourself to quickly identify some of these higher rent to price ratio deals in good areas, and use it to identify a few solid properties.